Hello students, this is SD Pawar again. I welcome you to the concluding part of consumer behavior. Today we will do the last part of this topic. Let us discuss. These are all question bank related question and answers. What is the difference between budget set and budget line? Now you have already done what is budget set. The meaning you are going to write in the first point, that is budget set consists of a set of bundles of two goods which are available to a consumer that cost him less than or equal to his income. Then what is budget line? It consists of all those bundles of two goods which can be purchased by a consumer that cost the consumer exactly equal to his income. So budget set gives what? It is a bundle of different combination of two goods, the cost of which is maybe equal to income or less than income, and budget line includes only those bundles which cost exactly equal to the consumer income. Then in the second point you will write the formula, that is P1x1 plus P2x2 is less than or equal to income, that is price of good 1 into units of good 1 purchased plus price of good 2 into units of good 2 purchased is less than or equal to his income. Then in budget line the formula is P1x1 plus P2x2 is equals to M, that is price of good 1 into units of good 1 plus price of good 2 into units of good 2 is exactly equal to M or income. Then the third point of distinction is it gives him more options. We have studied in the previous classes that taking the example of 5 rupees each costing 2 bundles and income was 20. So it gives him more options, that is 15 options. Then budget line gives him only few options because it includes only those bundles which are exactly equal to the income. Then budget set, it is also called as opportunity set. Why it is called as opportunity set? Because it has more options which cost him less than income, which cost him equal to income, or he may not spend any of his income. So it is left to him, it is an opportunity set. Whereas budget line is also called budget constraint or budget constraint or price line. That is budget constraint means what? Constraint means a limitation. It is a limitation of the budget where he can buy only limited or few options are left to him which cost exactly equal to his income. Now here I have just shown the diagram, budget line rough diagram. Everything, any combination that lie on the budget line is called is equal to the income, and any option or any bundle that lie within the budget below the budget line is called as budget set, or it also includes those on the budget line. Then next question is write the difference between total utility and marginal utility. It can come for 4 marks again. You need not show the diagram, but I have just taken it for your sake. Total utility, it is the total satisfaction got by consuming all the units of a given commodity or a good. Okay, when you consume all the units of the given commodity at that particular point of time, that is called as total utility. Marginal utility is the additional satisfaction got by consuming one more unit of a good. When you consume additional units of goods, you are going to get additional satisfaction or that is called as marginal utility. Then second point, you will write the formula. What is the total utility? It is a summation of mu of nth unit. Then marginal utility is total utility of nth unit minus total utility of n minus 1. Simply you can say mu n is equals to tun minus tun minus 1. Then third point, it depends on the quantity of a commodity consumed. How much commodity is offered to you, how much you consume, the total utility depends upon that. Okay. Then marginal utility depends on additional unit of commodity consumed. How much additional commodity you are going to consume, that will determine your marginal utility. Then total utility, fourth point, never becomes negative. You see the diagram there, I am just shown it in rough. Total utility, it rises as the units consumed increases, then it reaches a maximum point and it starts diminishing, whereas marginal utility is what? It diminishes right from the beginning. It touches 0 at x-axis and then becomes negative. So here you see, when fourth point, total utility never becomes negative. It increases but at a diminishing rate. It diminishes only. Whereas mu becomes negative. You see, mu goes beyond x-axis and it becomes negative. Initial total utility is less. See, as you consume one unit, your total utility goes on increasing. So initially the total utility is less, but marginal utility is high in the initial stage. It is high, that is, say it is 12 units, then it becomes 8 units and so on. It goes on diminishing and becomes negative. Then sixth point, TU diminishes at the end. Total utility, after the saturation point, total utility will diminish, and at that same level mu becomes 0 and then it becomes negative. When TU diminishes, mu becomes negative. When TU is at the maximum point, mu is 0, that is point of saturation, and when TU diminishes, mu becomes negative. So if you know the law of diminishing marginal utility, and if you know the chart and the diagram, you can simply write these points of difference. We will go to the next one. Difference between normal goods and inferior goods. First point in this, quantity demanded increases with increase in income and quantity demanded decreases with decrease in income. Such goods are called normal goods. Firstly, you are writing the meaning of normal goods. That is, when your income increases, the consumption of goods increases. When your income decreases, consumption of goods decreases, and such goods are called as normal goods. Inferior goods, first you write the meaning. Quantity demanded increases with decrease in income and quantity demanded decreases with increase in income. That is, the demand for the goods will become less when your income is increasing, and the demand is becoming less when income is increasing. Such goods are called as inferior goods. Then normal goods, second point, examples are daily goods or necessity goods. You can give the examples like fruits, vegetables, milk, okay, eatable items. Then inferior good examples, goods of low quality like millet and ragi. This is the textbook example. You can give any other example also. Then third point is quantity demanded and income move in the same direction. That is, there is a positive relation between quantity demanded of normal goods and income of the consumer. They are moving in the same direction. If income increases, QD increases. QD increases. If income decreases, QD also decreases. So they move in the same direction. Third point, inferior goods, QD and income move in opposite direction. That is, if income is increasing, quantity demanded for inferior goods will decrease, and if income is decreasing, quantity demanded of inferior goods will increase. So they move in opposite direction. Then the last point of difference is normal goods, there is positive relation between income and quantity demanded of normal goods. As they move in the same direction, that is called as positive relation. And inferior goods, as they move in opposite direction, QD and income move in opposite direction, there is a negative relation between income and inferior goods. Next point, next one now we go to is difference between substitute goods and complementary goods. Firstly, what is the meaning of substitute goods? They are the goods used as alternatives to satisfy same wants, or substitute goods are used as alternative goods to satisfy same want. Either of the goods can be used to satisfy the same want. Complementary goods, they are when two or more goods are consumed together to satisfy just one want. Okay, then substitute good example is tea and coffee. You can either consume tea or you can consume coffee. Alternative goods. Complementary goods example is car and petrol. If you have to use car, you require petrol, without which car will not operate or it will not run. So these are complementary to each other. Then third point is, if price of coffee increases, then the demand for its substitute good tea will also increase. Okay, price of coffee is increasing. The other effect we are not mentioning here what it is. If the coffee price increases, demand for coffee will automatically come down, assuming substitute good tea price is the same. So demand for tea will increase. So price increases of coffee, demand increases of tea. Then third point of difference complementary good, if there is increase in the price of car, there will be decrease in the quantity demanded of complementary good petrol. Here it is reverse. If car price increases, then what is going to happen? Demand for car will become less, so demand for petrol will also become less. Price of car increases, demand of petrol decreases. Then substitute good, last point, the relation between price of coffee and quantity demanded of tea is positive. There is positive relation because one price is increasing, the quantity demanded of substitute good is also increasing. So there is a positive relation between price of one good and quantity demanded of substitute good. Whereas complementary good, the relation between price of a good and demand for its complementary good move in opposite direction. When price of car is increasing, demand for petrol is decreasing, so they are moving in opposite direction. The relation here is opposite. Then we come to the last part, that is project oriented questions. Here whatever I am discussing, all this is important. Many of you are asking me what about the notes. These are only the actual notes. Right from the beginning I have been teaching, explaining it in the form of notes only based on the question bank. So if possible you can copy it and study. Project oriented question, this is the most common question, must question it is, important question, project oriented question for 5 marks based on budget set and budget line. A consumer wants to consume 2 goods. The price of banana is rupees 5 and mango is 10. The consumer income is 40. This is the problem given. They have asked you certain questions. A. How much banana she can consume if entire income is spent on banana? B. How many mangoes can she consume if entire income is spent on mango? Then C. Is the slope of the budget line downward or upward? Then D. Are the bundles on the budget line equal to consumer income or not? And last E. If you want to have more of bananas, you have to give up mangoes. Is it true? So the solution you will have to solve it in this manner only. Firstly, you note down M. What is M here? M is rupees 40, that is income of the consumer is rupees 40. Then banana, that is P1, price of banana is rupees how much? 4, and price of P2, that is price of mango is how much? Rupees 5. Now let us take the first one. How much banana she can consume if entire income is spent on banana? So entire, here we will take x1, that is units of good one or bananas consumed. How will you derive it? M divided by P1, the entire income, the consumer income divided by price of banana, that is how much? 40 rupees income divided by 5. When you divide, you will get 8 bananas. That is, if entire income of 40 is spent on consumption of banana, which cost 5 rupees per banana, then she can consume 8 bananas. Similarly, how many mangoes can be consumed if entire income is spent on mangoes? So units of good 2 or banana consumed is income M by P2, that is income divided by price of mangoes, that is total income is 40 and the price of banana, the price of mango is 10. So 40 divided by 10 is how much? 4 mangoes can be consumed if all the income is spent on mangoes. Then C is the slope of the budget line, downward or upward. Now you have already done budget line. It is what? The budget line is always downward slope or downward sloping. Then are the bundles on the budget line equal to consumer income or not? We have already seen that yes, the the cost of the bundles are always equal to the consumer income on the budget line. Then fifth one, E1, if you want to have more of bananas, you have to give up mangoes. Is it true? Yes, it is true, because of limited income he cannot consume both the goods in more quantity. If he has to increase the quantity of banana, he will have to decrease the quantity of mangoes. Okay, so I hope you have understood this lesson. So we conclude this lesson for today. Thank you.